Hey everybody, it's J-Mac, and welcome to Bigfoot Input. We are here for all of your cryptid and paranormal needs. We had an overwhelming response to our last video. We really appreciate it. We had a lot of kind comments. We also had some other comments. I'm going to share those with you now. Scott Thomas says, "Thank you for this collection of fuzzy, worthless videos and pictures." You're welcome, Scott. Secco, "Bigfoot Input, speak a little more quieter. My ears ache by your loud voice. Turn up your damned voice." Thank you, Secco. We are taking that critique into heart and we're working on it. "If you think the pictures are BS, then why post them? Because, Phil, all evidence is good evidence. We will post everything and we will sort through the pictures together to figure out what is real and what is not." Fat Boy says, "Man, you said you had 30 pictures of Bigfoot. You wasted my time. Thanks for nothing. I hope you go far with this BS." Well, thank you. So do we. Devin Jenkins says, "My guy, you are literally the worst debunker in the history of debunking." Call him like we see him. But anyway, enough of that. So we're here today to talk about Coyote Peterson, okay? If you are on any of the Bigfoot sites that exist on Facebook, this is all everyone's talking about right now, okay? So Coyote Peterson, if you don't know who he is, he's an American YouTuber that gained internet fame by allowing insects to sting him or bite him. And then he reacts to the pain. And maybe he overreacts. I don't know. I've never been. But recently he released a Facebook post that claimed that he had unearthed a large primate skull in British Columbia, Canada. He also claimed that he had smuggled it across the border back into the U.S. and that it was in a safe location, DNA testing, awaiting DNA. So, I mean, everyone was just up in arms about it. You know, I mean, there was a lot of critiquing about him potentially breaking a federal law by smuggling this specimen, you know, ruining the DNA, and I don't know. There was just a bunch of talk about it. Also, some people had pointed out that the skull looked a lot like a skull, a replica skull that you can buy online for educational purposes. So there was that. And of course, then there's the other side of it that wouldn't hear anything other than it's real. And I think a lot of people were just taking Coyote Peterson's word for it. You know, he's got like 5 million followers. He's very loved. And unfortunately, I think this whole thing has sort of tainted his reputation. I'll tell you why. So the reason is that it was a complete hoax. Okay? After the post, which he kind of let stew for a day or so, they released a video, and the video is a lot of on the ground footage and drone footage of them walking through this area, deeply wooded area, which is presumably in British Columbia, Canada. Okay. So, in 15 seconds, you'll hear the director say action. And at this point, Peterson says this: "Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you because I'm only going to say it once. Moving forward, we are going to be creating a what-if scenario. Now, as someone that wants to believe in the existence of a bipedal primate living in the Pacific Northwest, I have to ask myself, why have the following series of events never happened?" At that point, they continue on to go and find this primate skull. They dig it up, you know, they talk about it, you know, etc. And then, you know, the video ends. And so unfortunately, yeah, this is nothing but some what if scenario content that he kind of masqueraded as being real. And that's just my opinion. I think he was a little underhanded about the whole thing. And I think it was mainly clickbait. So I myself am not a hunter, but I think you rarely hear about the carcasses of apex predators being found out in the open. Like if they know they're going to die, they hide. If they're killed out in the open, well, free meat doesn't last that long, okay? So they're going to be eaten, their bones are going to be scattered. And, you know, we don't know that the Sasquatch doesn't bury its dead or cannibalize its dead or live in a cave system that we've never discovered and it's just full of bones. On a side note, we don't know exactly that one has never been discovered, okay? When they talk about the fires on Mount St. Helens, or the eruption, obviously, which caused the fires, there's been other situations, too, where people have claimed to have found a Bigfoot or Sasquatch body, but were quickly intercepted by what they assumed were federal agents, men in black, that sort of thing. So again, I don't really understand the secrecy if there is such a thing. Why not just let us know that this thing exists, unless they themselves were somehow evolved in the existence of this creature and they are now trying to keep it under wraps because they were involved. I don't know. That's just the thought process of mine. I could be off the mark there, but it's still an interesting thing. But I just wanted to touch on this Coyote Peterson situation. It is kind of getting out of control out there. People arguing with each other and whatnot. There's really nothing to argue about. He says it in the video. It's a hoax. It's a what if scenario. So let's just move on from this situation. Anyway, guys, I'm J Mac, and keep squatching.